Symbiotes, they make fun of him, he gets pushed by cliffs, everyone's happy. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Little people know this game had a multiplayer demo called something similar to something. It's not coming up what you've typed. Did you put down a link or something? Unless it was, like, the word is censored. This game had a multiplayer demo, okay. I mean, it's got multiplayer, like, now, so what do you mean it had a multiplayer demo? I don't really understand your comment. It's like saying, like, little did you know that, like, Warcraft 3 had a demo called the Warcraft 3 demo. Factorio. Like, Agar.io. Okay, gotcha. I didn't know that. There you go. I've learned something new. I got it when it came out on Steam, so I guess it had a life before then. So thanks for the new information. And welcome to the stream. I'm just putting down solar panels right now. That was totally misinformation. That makes sense. Because I was sort of like... It had a demo. It's like, oh, okay. Anyway, welcome to the stream in any case. This is what happens when I trust people at their first words. The joke or no. I'm really bad at picking up on this sort of stuff. That's on me. Doesn't help I'm in full solar panel mode, so like my brain isn't really processing anything other than solar panels right now. Maybe doing well. Don't stress if your joke went wrong. I'm really bad at picking up on jokes. People in chat have to explain their jokes to me all the time. Especially when I'm playing this game, because my brain just becomes consumed with belts and all that sort of stuff. All that lovely stuff. In any case, I hope you're doing well. Hopefully today has brought you much joy. I had a pretty good day today. I've got some time off work, so I'm just sort of relaxing. Playing games with friends. Did some stream-related stuff. I finally went through one of my VODs to make some clips, which was nice. You've been waiting your turn in hospital for an hour and a half. You finally visited the doctor, did all you needed. Let me guess, it took like 2 minutes for them to do what they needed to do. But I hope you're okay. If you had to go to the hospital, it sounds pretty serious. It's always the way with doctors, isn't it? They make you wait around for like so long, and then the actual like thing that they do like takes like 2 seconds. Fucking doctors, man. I mean, it's not their fault, to be fair. Well, not exclusively their fault. Yeah, around 5 minutes, yeah. Well, hopefully all's okay. It's a bit scary to have to go to the doctor. The last time I went to a doctor... When was the last time I went to a doctor? I had chills, like, randomly. Like, it happened a few times. Like, it was particularly, like, at night. I would just be, like, in bed, and I would just start shivering really, like, violently for, like... It's like 10-20 minutes at times. It was pretty scary. So, I was told by somebody I should go to the doctor, and I did. They took a blood test and they're like, there's nothing wrong with you. Looking back, I'm pretty sure it was stress and anxiety from that person. That person was causing me. The one that told me to go to the doctor. Anyhow, nothing more needs to be said on that topic. Everything is stress. Yeah. It's something that I've learned as I've gotten older, is like how much like of an impact like mental well-being has on your physical well-being. It's actually kind of incredible. Doc says stress, he has a migraine. Doc says stress. Gastric, migraines, yeah. Yeah, everything is... So many things are stress-related. It's actually kind of incredible. Like, just how susceptible we are to that. It's the world we live in, unfortunately, and it shouldn't be that way, but it is. Okay, I need to find a new place to put down accumulators. You legitimately believe you got your IBS from work stress? It's entirely possible. Like, I wouldn't discount it, to be honest. Again, keep in mind, I'm not a doctor, right, but... I genuinely wouldn't discount it. Because stress has so many impacts on our body, it's kind of incredible. You had a horrible manager and then it started? Yeah. I mean, that sounds... I know correlation doesn't always equal causation. You know, people are always very... people are always jumping out of their chairs to say that, aren't they? They're always jumping out of their chairs to say, just because these two things happen at the same time doesn't mean they're related. Sometimes the answer is really just as simple as... literally... this is the cause. Sometimes correlation does equal causation. Manager always likes to throw you under the bus, message at 9 PM or on weekends. Stomach problems are strongly related to stress. Interesting. I wonder why stomach problems specifically. Maybe it's like... I don't know. I'm not going to get into the realm of medical speculation. I was thinking, like, is it related to, like, maybe when you're stressed, your body produces extra, like, gastric acid or something like that? I don't know. You'd feel stressed anytime you felt your phone buzzing. I've been there, believe me. I have been there. At a period of time, probably like a month ago now at this point, where I was anticipating, not text, but emails. I got stressed every time I opened my email and I saw that there was an email message there. This wasn't work-related, mind you, so just to make that clear, but, yeah. Yeah, even just simple, association, like you're saying, Ichigo. Even just associating the buzzing of your phone with work and therefore with stress. Hopefully that manager is not working at your place anymore. Or at the very least, they're not working with you anymore. Like they've been transferred or something like that. They made you have a solo chat with them, with upper management. Oh, God, I hate when management does stuff like that. They're like, hey, you have a problem with this person, so why don't you just talk to them? It's like, the whole problem is I have to talk to them. And you're saying the solution is I need to talk to them again? Like, come on. I don't blame you. Hopefully management was at least supportive in the conversation. Sure, but you said it was a solo chat. That seems a bit much. I hope was not like somebody from like HR or something with you. You're a noob in medicine, but you're learning things you're curious about. You randomly Google. Interesting. I do the same thing, but with like mostly historical stuff. Poet. Like I get curious about like a particular country or a particular like thing that happened or something, and I'll like do a deep dive. I do the same thing. He was like, he messages, but he doesn't expect you to read it immediately. I mean, you naturally will. Like, that's a non-excuse. I don't like that. That annoys me that the guy would say that. I mean, you don't send work-related messages at that time unless you expect people to read them. Because you, like, do you use Outlook for work? What's like the email that you use for work? Because if you use Outlook, you can schedule emails, you know. You had to write up the minutes. Okay, at least you had that. Yeah, Outlook and Teams, that's exactly what I use at work. And same deal with my job. Like, sometimes they would send emails out at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It's like, dude, you can literally schedule emails. There's no excuse. If he's really keen to send it, that's fine. He can send it. Just say like, alright, I'll send it and I'll schedule it to go out at like, you know, 7:30 AM or whatever. Whatever's a reasonable time. I don't know what's a reasonable time in at your workplace for emails to go out. I think 7:30 or 8 is usually pretty customary in my industry. Ah, crap. Yeah. I don't know. You learn to turn off the notification. That's very fair. Become ungovernable. Yeah, I probably don't need to have this many accumulators. I'm mainly just putting down these accumulators because I'm enjoying this conversation and I don't want to like do something that's actually going to take up my brain power. Alright, sweet. How goes things here? Yeah, that looks fine. Let's ship back to Norbis. Waiting for a rocket to arrive. Okay. That's fine. You can wait for that rocket. Just gonna down some sulfur. There we go. Yeah, my new workplace, because I got a new job. I've mentioned it a few times. I got a new job this year. My new workplace is a lot better about stuff like this. They don't message at unreasonable hours. There's a lot less meetings at my new job compared to my old job. So, like, my old job, we would have every week, pretty much without fail, except for very rare exceptions, we'd have 2 hours of after-work meetings per week. Eventually, the manager left the IBS state. I mean, the stress is there still, right? It's so annoying. I'm so sorry. I feel really bad that you had to go through that. Yeah, maybe Paul's right. It could be that stress particularly affects the stomach. Which is very interesting if it's true, because it makes me wonder, like, well, why? Why does stress particularly affect the stomach? Oh, look at this. Yeah, I wouldn't say that, at my old job, the main reason why I left was because of management. It's because you have more of a stomach because you're plus size. Maybe, I don't think that's particularly gonna have much of an impact. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, management at my last job was really bad, is the TLDR. I don't know why, like, they get such crap people to be managers, don't they? It feels like it's across all industries. It's like the worst possible people get put into positions of leadership. I'll never understand it. It's like they go out of their way in like the selection process to find the worst, most least qualified candidate, and then they give the job to them. I'm sure, like, I know that they have their own like issues and stuff, right? You're correct with that, I think, but it really depends where the problem is with if the problem's with middle management or upper management. So at my last job, there was problems with both upper management and middle management. And it was So what you're saying is the upper management squeeze them, then they have to squeeze you. With my last job, it was upper management sort of just... They, like, dusted their hands, and middle management did whatever they wanted, and they were stupid. Like, they were hopeless. So, we had to, like, live with the consequences of all of their, like, terrible decisions. So, upper management, it was a lack of leadership from upper management was the issue. But then middle management itself was incompetent anyway. But at my new job, the upper management's really good. Middle management is just like, okay. But the upper management's really good. I'm very happy with how they're doing things. They respect our time. They don't give us too many meetings or too many extra tasks and stuff like that. They reasonably run the organization. Yeah. Talking about meetings, oh yeah, this should be good. A whole day of meetings? Oh my gosh, you don't have to tell me. Like, at the end of, near the end of last year, before we, like, ended the year for Christmas and stuff, we had, like, a week of meetings. And they were so useless, especially because I was leaving the place, right? So none of what they were talking about was relevant for me. But I still had to attend, obviously, because I want to get paid. It was just, like, so bad. The middle management was largely running it, and it was like... There was one part where they were showing us some data, and the guy that was presenting kept saying, "Oh, take what we're saying with a grain of salt." It's like, dude, what do you mean take it with a grain of salt? Like, you're presenting this data, like... You tell us what we're supposed to get from this. Don't just tell us, like, we're showing you all this information, but it's not really useful. Is basically what you're telling us. What? They're not confident in numbers. Oh, they weren't. Some of my colleagues like actually asked them a bunch of questions and they couldn't answer them. It was so good. I was so proud of my colleagues. They were just like, they were nailing them over the data. Like they were making like comparisons with between two things that like you couldn't compare. It sounds so chill to be the data analyst. The other people there are freaking... They are, like, incompetent. that's literally all I could say about them. They're just incompetent. But yes, very chill, I imagine. We would regularly hear... You'd regularly hear, like, stories, because I still talk to some people at my old workplace. They, like, the leadership have, like, they're literally, like... One of my colleagues went into, like, one of the offices, and, like, one of the leaders, one of the managers had, like, their feet up on the desk. Like, I'm not even joking. You have to defend your numbers. Exactly, if we got asked about something, we would have to defend what we're doing, but they just take it with a grain of salt. In the uni, we had a place to rest between lectures. There were big pillows, cards, drawing boards, and even musical instruments. The uni had to remove everything and make a presentation discussion center. Huh? So they basically got rid of a space for students and just made another, like, workspace. That sounds terrible. That's a shame. Yeah, because you need a mix of those sorts of... You need a mix of, work and, rest spaces. That's a very odd choice. I wonder what possessed them to do that. Well, I'm sure I could think of... I'm sure I could come up with some ideas. I need to, like... I have to do this stuff manually, man. Someone mentioned if we change this place, it would increase... It's funny that you say that. I love how, like, everything that you guys are discussing, I've got anecdotes about that from my old workplace. So one of the things that happened near the end of the year at my last workplace was they wanted to rearrange everyone's desks. So like previously, like I was in like a room with like it was like 7 or 8 other colleagues, and they just decided like, all right, there's like 5 office spaces, like desk spaces around the organization. And they were like, we're gonna mix everybody up. And naturally, like, the people in the leadership, the management, gave themselves the best spaces. And they put, like, the people that they didn't like in the crappier spaces. And that was just like, why? Why do this? We had an XX increase. Oh, they'll just make up numbers. It's very easy to make up numbers in that sort of space. Like, genuinely, you can just make it up as you go along. And if people aren't switched on, they won't even realize that you're just BSing them. You don't even need a made-up number because it went from 0. Oh, that's beautiful. That person must have planned this all out very carefully. It sounds like they had like a master plan. Went from 0 to however many classes were built. That's incredible. But I suppose sometimes it feels like people are just like having a laugh at our expense as like, you know, regular employees. The beauty of data is it can be manipulated to support. Exactly, yes. That's so true. You can paint whatever kind of story you like with data. You just have to calculate your KPIs differently, yes, very true. Yeah, the business world is so fascinating. Or just organizational management in general, I guess. Okay, so how does this work? 50 copper ore plus 1 calcite makes 500 molten ore. Ah, but this is an inherent productivity bonus. Right. That's right. You had an interesting experience in exam time. There was a subject where you needed to make a presentation. If you didn't, you had to move boxes with another poor student for an hour. What? That sounds like not okay. That sounds like really not alright, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I need 30 of these speed modules. Good way to get grades. Did you still get graded if you moved boxes? I hope so. But that's very odd. Yeah, uni's interesting. Like, I definitely don't regret going to uni because it enabled me to get a job in the field that I'm in, and for the most part, I'm pretty happy with my job. Especially my current, like, organization is a lot better than the one I came from. But, yeah, unis are strange. I don't know. I'm never really sure what to think about universities. It feels like they're all kind of a bit dodgy. I don't know. How's the oil situation going? I think we're actually starting to run out of oil. Let's see. No, 99. I think the oil supply should be fine for at least a while longer. Where's my next oil expansion? Here. But I love talking about this sort of stuff with people. I love talking about organizational management. It's a subject that I hold very near and dear to my heart. There was this whole empty building that used to grab boxes from the truck and move them into cabinets. It was not exciting. You just like to complain? No, it's not just complaining. We're reflecting on good workplace management, which, like, most employers seem to not have any clue about. It's a national pastime for Singaporeans. That's very fair. I feel like it's a national pastime for many different cultures. Then again, in Australia, the general mindset is, it is what it is. That's more the way that we do things in Australia. It's the she'll be right mentality. It's like, you know, it is what it is. Such is life. That's what Ned Kelly said before they hanged him. I mean, maybe I just need to be, like, sending this ship between Fulgora and Norvis. Maybe. Don't Australia have a work-life balance law thing? There's a maximum amount of hours per week that you're supposed to work, yeah. If that's what you're talking about. The right to disconnect, yes, that's true. That's correct. That was passed relatively recently. Hey, Grip had an idea to buy a box of vodka for your teacher to skip the exam, but they gave you a very simple test so everyone got good grades. That sounds cool. Where did you study? What country is this? That's awesome. It's nice when you get good people at, I had some really great professors, like, there was some really awesome professors that I had at uni. So I'm not gonna pretend that, like, the whole experience was miserable or whatever, but... I can't believe this freaking platform is nearly done. Russia! Oh, well, the vodka part makes sense then. No offense. It's a bit of a stereotype, I know, but... Cheap vodka costs $1 a litre. Oh my goodness. It's a very reasonable price. Then again, I don't drink, so... No idea, maybe. I suspect it's probably up there. But still, that's nice. It's nice you had a cool professor like that. Yeah, everyone... I don't know about you guys, but... uni was, like, really challenging for me. I found it really hard. It got so bad that I, like, basically just disconnected myself from, like, my whole personal life. Like, I became, like, pretty much completely isolated. I became, like, a hermit. He was an exception, most of the teachers. Like, so all you need is one really good teacher, I feel like. They can make a huge difference. I've talked about it a bit on my streams before. Even just having one really awesome teacher can make such a huge difference in your life. $1 is around 90 rubles. Oh my goodness. these cool machines. We still don't have a single electromagnetic plant, man. Three entities are missing construction robots. Alright! I don't have any construction robots over here. Ah, darn. Oh, there we go, that works. Oh. I don't know what happened there. Vodka's $1 per litre, we're activated, it's 4,000 per litre. Yeah, price differences are always really interesting to look into. Things are moving a bit faster now. But yeah, either way, I don't drink, so you could tell me how much it costs, but it doesn't really mean much to me. We just send down all the blue chips. Back to full Gora. That cost a lot to do that. Yeah. 12 bottles of vodka. I don't know what alcohol prices are like here, but I suspect it's probably pretty similar to Singapore. I feel like our currency is, like, very similar in terms of value. Ooh. We have over half the accumulator power left. That's awesome. Yeah, every time I hear about, like, prices in Singapore, it's always like, oh, it's around this. It's like, oh, yeah, that's basically what it is in Australia, too. I think your dollar might be slightly stronger than ours, but it's around the same. It's very close. You guys get taxed more on games? That doesn't surprise me. Why, how much does an average video game cost for you guys? Do you have, like, a GST or VAT or something like that? Or your price is just that's the price? Because it might be because of GST. Like, is there a sales tax, basically? In Singapore. Oh, what'd you say? That's okay. I was just asking if there was a, is there like a sales tax in Singapore? In the nice bit of severe economic crisis, bread would cost 1,000 rubles instead of 20. Yeah. I know a little bit about Russian history, so, it's like the collapse of, like, the Soviet Union and stuff, right? Yeah. She locked her iPad in the middle of her class. Oh, no. 9 or 10%. Okay, it's the same here. That's weird, then. We have a 10% goods and services tax. Yeah, I figured that maybe, like, is it because, like, you know, because we have a GST, do you, like, not have that? Maybe that's why there was that, but... Interesting. Yeah, I don't have a good answer, then. Wow, we did it. We finished. This platform is actually pretty much ready to go. Why is it 9 or 10%? Could be an additional tax because the government doesn't like it. Citizens playing games. I mean, Australia's had an interesting relationship with, like, video games. I think probably more than most other countries, we've banned a lot of video games. For the longest time, Australia didn't have a, an R rating for stuff. Like, it would be like, if let's say there's a particularly violent movie or video game or something coming out, the Australian government would just be like, nah, this is too much, we're not releasing this. Like, we refuse to classify it, it's illegal to, like, release it here. Then, it was like maybe 10 years ago they had a restricted rating, so like they basically said like, this is only for adults. Yeah, very strong censorship. We do have very strong censorship. Yeah, that's true. Ooh, look at the red chips. The red chips are coming along real nice. The only reason why the red chips look so good is because the green chips aren't being made, so the red chips aren't being used. Feels like no matter what I do, I'm just treading water. Can I fit in an extra thingamajig? Extra cargo bay? I feel like I can fit in an extra cargo bay. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Singapore banned sites. There's definitely some banned sites here, but I think it's like elite, like criminal stuff. So I'm not gonna complain about that. I'm not gonna be like, oh, why'd they ban this? It's like, yeah, that's probably a fair call. Since 2022, your search system Yandex has messaged some sense of... Oh, interesting. I feel it's pretty similar here, I think. Yeah, that's fair. Ban on certain sites. That's very understandable. It's not illegal to get a VPN. Yeah, it's the same, I think, in most countries. I think it's probably not because governments don't want to ban, but it's just that the laws hasn't caught up with the technology, if that makes sense. Like, I'm sure come a few more years, probably governments will start banning VPNs. Because they'll realize, like, oh, actually, people can get around, like, censorship and stuff like that if we don't ban them. I think it's just a situation that they haven't realized. Or they don't know the full extent of, like, all of it. Okay, I think this platform is, like, basically ready to go. So we need to have solar panels to kickstart the operation. Yeah, so the problem with this platform is the power generation actually, like, is not functional. For a while. China's the only place that bans and enforces laws on VPNs. You've heard about Korea as well. Interesting. VPNs are illegal in your country, but you can find them on Google Play. Interesting. Well, the power generation is starting to happen. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We have we have power generation. Not much, but Because we need to get a water supply. Anyway, that's water. The music's relaxing. Yeah, the music in space is really nice. How to do this. There we go. Alright. The Australian accent is similar to the British one. I would say more or less. It's pretty similar, yeah. It's not like exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. I like the Australian accent more than the British accent, but I'm biased. Alright, well the platform works now. There we go, we got nuclear power. Start producing electric power using nuclear plants. Awesome. Ah, crap. And then it all switched off. No! So we need to keep the solar panels around for a while until we've actually got some stuff being manufactured. So we need to increase the amount of water. Yeah, once we actually get some water, we'll be okay. How do we get water? You can guess different accents. German, French, Slavic, Chinese, Japanese. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not really good at picking out accents. I'm decent at, like, figuring out where people are from based on, like, their names. Like, particularly, like, last names and stuff like that. Sometimes, like, oh yeah, that's, like, you know, that's a Polish last name, or that's a, you know, German last name, that sort of thing. Feels that way to you, yeah. How am I gonna get ice onto this platform? I really don't know. I feel like once we can get a decent supply of ice, we'll be okay. But until we get it, we're. I mean, I can always ship ice up. Maybe this is like have to like manufacture the ice myself. Maybe we'll do that. Papers, Please has many Slavic names. It feels kind of warm. I've played Papers, Please before. Many years ago. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a very fun game. So the nuclear reactor's temperature is fine. Like we've got the energy is there, but there's no water. Until we actually get water, we can't make steam. It's a little irritating. Yeah, this is using a sushi train setup. So I didn't make this, just to be clear, because I'm not smart enough to make a setup like this. But this is known as a sushi train setup. Why are these not grabbing? chunks. No power. I can literally see the chunks there. I'm very confused by all this. This is the problem with using, using somebody else's design, is you get things like this which don't make sense. You tried to get the maximum output there, so you replayed the game a lot so you could get enough money without easy mode bonus. Ah, yeah. It's a really hard game, I remember, Papers, Please. I remember finding the game very challenging. Okay, we need to get ice. I need to send down 2 lots of ice, okay. It's a very bad game for streaming, you have to concentrate. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's a bit like this, unfortunately. This game I also need to really concentrate, but... I wish I understood what all this meant. Okay, so now we're at the point where I think we need to start preparing... Okay, these are like the essentials. This section is the production stuff. So I'm not gonna mark this as essential for now. Yeah, this game's all about min-maxing too, so I definitely get where you're going. Where you're going with this. Down some of this. How many of these can I fit in a stack? 50. Let's say 300 of these. 100 of these. Okay, 50. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know what I need for this next planet, so I'm just gonna load up with a ton of stuff. I will get some solar panels and accumulators just as like a basic backup. Steam turbines, I suspect I'm gonna need a decent amount. Pump jacks never hurt. Offshore pumps never hurt. I don't know if I need foundries. I'll pack some foundries anyway. Put all this stuff in. Do you have Starbound? I haven't played Starbound, but I'm familiar with the game. But I haven't actually played it myself. It's like Terraria, right? But it's space themed. That's what I know about it. I don't know if that's true or not. Since Rare that failed after they've simplified the games a lot. Ah, okay. So is Starbound like more complicated? Less complicated? How does it stack up? I need to remember what I need for... What's a rocket silo need? Because I need components for a rocket silo. 1,000 concrete, 100 pipe, 200 processing units. Is there 1,000 steel as well? And 200 electric engine units, okay. Maybe just 1,200, why not? Interesting, yeah. I never really got super into Terraria. I did play it with friends, and I thought it was fine. It was a fine game, but never got super into it. But yeah, glad to hear you're enjoying Starbound. I've heard good things about it, but just never played it. Why, oh why, are my rockets not ready to fly? It's because we don't have any processing units. Is that literally it? Yes, that's literally it. I'll send you off to Glover, which we can worry about next time. Space Terraria that failed off through this. Used to be complicated in the demos. The plants used to have different gravity and temperature bar. The plants felt more unique, but they were so they made it much less unique. That's a shame. Yeah, because this game has different planets, but like every planet is very unique. Yeah, even though I kind of hate this planet, Gleber. Interesting. But that's a shame. It's always disappointing when developers like kind of misunderstand what people like about their games, and they make it into something that it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? That's a pity. Alright, can we get the ice up into space? I wanna get the ice up to the rocket. Once the ice goes up to the rocket, I'll be happy. Yeah, it seems odd that they would basically sabotage their own game. That's what it sounds like, almost. Like, why would they do that? Because they had, like, a really interesting concept, and they're just like, no, let's just throw away the interesting concept for something more generic. Don't understand. Could be them trying to earn more? That's true. They could have been trying to appeal to a wider audience, but making the game simpler. That's the problem with game development. You either make a really niche game, which appeals to a really hardcore fan base, or you try and make the game as generally appealing. Yes, more accessible, exactly. But I'll never understand the appeal of trying to make the game more accessible, because I don't know if you're familiar, Ichigo. It sounds like you're pretty familiar with the business world, if you know about the Pareto principle. So the Pareto principle basically says that, like, 80% of your sales are going to come from 20% of your customers. So realistically, you want to focus on a small core customer base anyway. Like, there's actually no point trying to appeal to a wide audience, because most of the audience isn't going to be interested in your products. The mod tried to make things more different. They added 8 planet types, returned gravity and temperature, but made some new debuffs. Planet's atropus, which is flesh and bones. You get insanity that's mesmerizing. Interesting. You know the concept, but through work. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of companies kind of ignore that principle, which basically states that like you don't really want to be doing that, you know? So, whitelist ice. I just want to see if this works. I might completely stuff this all up by doing this, but... I basically just need to get some ice so that we can melt it. You didn't know how to name. Okay. I think it's called the Pareto Principle. I hope I've explained, I've said it right. I'm pretty sure it's called the Pareto Principle. P-A-R-E-T-O. It's also known as the 80-20 rule. Which is probably what you've heard it be described as. There's a term for just about everything, yeah, very true. And now everything's like on fire, now that the there we go, now you're gonna grab the chunks. It's because there wasn't enough electricity for the arms to operate. That was the problem. Why is none of the water getting through? Oh, there needs to be enough water in the back area before it flows forward. That's so interesting. So once there's enough water in the back part of the system, it'll start pumping it forward to the to make rockets and start making fuel. We'll request ice, but just from Fulgora. Alrighty. So the second platform is built. It's not necessarily operational, but it is built. Okay, so things are happening. That's good. Belt contains hold. Hole belts. Ice. Is greater than 0? How do I... Oh shit, I forgot how to do this. So I don't want this whole thing to just get filled up with ice blocks. That seems like a bad idea. It's sort of what's happening right now. How come it's not scanning for... How do I do this again? Hold all belts. Ah. I always forget how to do contents and stuff. How did I do it on my other platform? Oh, I need to set the constant. I need to set the constant. So I need to tell them what number to go. So it has to be enable when it's greater than. So this should be less than. So when the amount of ice on the belt is less than 100, it sends ice out. Alright. There we go. That works. That works. Anyway, the ice will get used up, so it's not a problem. And there's no more ice inside the ship anyway, so it's also, like, equally not a problem. How's the water supply going? Oh, we're actually pumping some water ahead. Not much, but it is going through. Okay, we've got some fuel. The engines are filling up, which is great news. We're making some rockets, which is fantastic news. Look at that, that's beautiful. My goodness. Yeah, this is such an elegant setup. This guy that I watch on YouTube, who gave me this design, is like a genius, I swear. Like, these designs are so elegant. Like, the whole sushi train system of, like, the materials keep constantly rotating around the machine until they're, like, used, basically. It's such an interesting idea. It's not something that I'm capable of thinking of independently. No calcite. Why is there no calcite? Well, that's no good. I'm sure you would if you was over it, yeah. You know me. Why do we not have any calcite anymore? We had a bunch before, but now it's just gone. I'm not sure what happened. People are totally able to obsess and focus totally are often the best in something. Well, hopefully that's true. I'm sure it's probably true to a large extent, I imagine. The people that, like, really get devoted into certain topics, I think naturally it makes sense that they would... You would hope that if you're that obsessed with the topic, you'd understand it and do well on it. Alrighty. So we might wrap things up there for today, I think. It was a pretty low-key... I feel like I'm saying this every week, that's a low-key stream. But it's true, every time. But yeah, things are tracking pretty well, I think, for the most part. We've got the second platform working. It's not working very well, but it is working. It's really dependent on, like, can we get enough asteroids to sustain production, like, in the short term. So I'm probably gonna need a little bit of help with this one. When I say a little bit of help, I mean, like, whatchamacallit. It's interesting that we, like, load up ammunition. Why do we load up ammunition? I guess it's just to stop the belt becoming overflooded with ammunition, I guess. Fair enough. Unless they're tinfoil, yeah, true. I don't think that's definitely not productive. The people that get to the point where like it consumes them, whatever it is, whatever their special interest or topic of interest is. Alright, so now we don't have any water again. Sorry, we don't have any ice again. You know, I'm gonna send you on a test flight. Go to Fulgora. I want to see how well this thing flies. And really how well it copes with space travel. I probably should have saved the game before I sent it off, hey? Probably would have been a good idea. There we go. So as long as I keep it in perpetual motion, it can get a lot of materials. Look at it. Look at the arms go. They're picking up so much scrap. Oh, so the machine guns aim for the little asteroids, and the rockets only go for big asteroids. That's smart. It saves you using up needless ammunition. That is so clever. That is really, really clever. And now the water supply is good again. Interesting. Oh, look at that. Look at those beautiful asteroids. Unload. So it's gonna unload ammo, is it? Is that what that means? I'm actually not sure. Alright, but anyway, I think we'll leave it there for now. So, the platform works, and it actually works quite well, which is awesome. But still plenty of work to be done next time as we continue our quest for greatness. So more science, more tech in particular, and maybe we'll even fly to Aquilo. I don't know. I mean, it feels... Obviously, we're gonna have to load up this rocket with materials, which is gonna take quite some time, but it's definitely something that's possible. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream of Factorio. Let me know how you're enjoying it if you're watching it on YouTube. And I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.